Hello and welcome back everyone to our channel. Now, this is the channel where we explore the intricate world of your technology. Okay. And as we discussed in the last video, where we saw about what all the things we are going to cover in this SIEM series. So this is the second video in the series. Okay. The first video was about what all the things we are going to cover in this entire SIEM series. So if you missed the video, please go visit our channel and make sure to check out that video where you'll get information about what all the things will be covered. Now today we'll start the journey of SIEM. Okay, we'll embark on a journey through the realms of cybersecurity, and we'll focus on a very important and very interesting concept, SIEM, or security information and event management. Now, whether you are an IT professional, a cyber and cybersecurity enthusiast, or you are simply intrigued by how the digital fortress are guarded, this video is crafted for you. So let's dive deeper into the world of SIEM and unravel its mysteries together. All right. Now, the first thing is introduction to SIEM. Okay. Now, SIEM, what it is. So if we talk about SIEM, SIEM is a term that was coined by Gartner analyst Mark Nicolette and Amrit Williams in the year 2005. And SIEM stands for Security Information and Event Management. But what's behind this acronym? What is SIEM? Okay. And how to use it? How does it work? How does it provide the security? All these things we are going to cover in our video series. Okay. So if we talk about SIEM, SIEM is a technological approach. Okay. And it's a tool set, if you will, and designed for the ultimate goal of providing a comprehensive security overview for IT professionals. Okay, so with the help of SIEM, we can do a lot of things. Okay, we can enhance the security of an organization. Okay, confused, right? So let's paint a clear picture with some scenario and examples. Okay, let's take some examples and understand how SIEM can help. So imagine a financial institution, okay, and it's a prime target for cyber attacks due to the sensitive nature of data it handles. Okay, now financial institution can be, any organization providing financial services, like insurance firms, okay, firms that are providing loans and other financial companies. Okay, so they handle a very sensitive data and they are the prime target for cyber attacks. And here, your SIEM plays a very crucial role. So let's say one evening, an employee's credentials are used to access the network from a foreign country. Okay, one evening, one employee's credentials, his usernames and passwords are used to access the network of the organization from a foreign country. Now, this is a very unusual activity. Okay, and this is detected by the SIEM component of your SIEM, and it is going to trigger an alert. Now, again, if you do not have SIEM kind of solutions, then you will not come to know. Why? Because, the login will just generate one log and that's it. Okay, no one will ever come to know. But if SIEM is implemented, then the SIEM component of your SIEM is going to generate an alert. It is going to trigger an alert that someone has accessed the organization network after the working hours and from a foreign country. Now, this is not an usual action. So that way, your SIEM can help. Okay. And now the security team, upon investigation, they realize that it's a case of stolen credentials. Okay. So if SIM will generate an alert and the security team, they will investigate, definitely they'll come to know that, okay, this is a case of stolen credentials, and immediate action will be taken. Okay, immediately they will take an action and they will prevent potential data breach or financial loss. Because if an attacker is able to have access to the company network, then we have no idea how much damage they can do. Okay, whether that be some financial loss, financial damage, or that is, your operation damage. Okay, that means they can bring down the entire network itself. Okay, so damages can be like financial also, reputational also. Okay, and now if we consider one more example, okay, if we consider another scenario, so let's talk about the health sector. Okay, so if we talk about health sector, the hospitals, they store vast amount of personal and medical data. Okay, and this makes them attractive target for the cyber criminals. Okay, so here also your SIM systems, okay, your SIM solution, they could track and analyze the access to patient records. Okay, so here also you can consider, like, the data is being accessed, the hospital database, it is being accessed from a foreign country, or from a different location, or you can say like after the company hours, means anything unusual activity. Okay, so the SIM systems, they can track and analyze the access to the patient records. Okay, so suppose there's an unusual access pattern. Okay, now what an unusual access pattern can be, like a staff member is accessing patient records at odd hours or at an unusual frequency. Okay, like generally if we talk about, the doctors, so if they have to access the patient information, patient data, so they will be accessing, during the working hours only. Okay, after the working hours, they are not supposed to access. Okay, or means they are regularly accessing single patient data, or they are accessing all the patient data, so that means that reports an unusual activity. Okay, so maybe, the records are being accessed during the odd hours or at unusual frequency. Now your SIEM solutions are so smart that they would flag this anomaly. Okay, and they will prompt for a security review to ensure that there is no internal threat or compromised account. Okay, so I hope now you can understand how important your SIM solutions are for an organization. Okay, whether that be your financial or institution, healthcare sector. Okay, so SIM is really important. And then if we talk about, compliance, so compliance is another key area where your SIM is invaluable. So let's say, with an example, that, there's a retail store or retail company that needs to comply to the PCI DSS standards, because they are processing some credit card or debit card information. Okay, so they need to comply to the PCI DSS standards for credit card processing. Now, how your SIEM going to help them? Your SIEM is going to help them by ensuring that all the access to card holders data is logged and it is auditable. Okay, the data is getting logged and the data is auditable. And this not only helps in identifying potential breaches, but also demonstrates the compliance within the industry regulations. Okay, so your SIM solution does a lot for an organization, and that's why, you know it's a really important aspect, and it's a really important technology to be used inside an organization for its for enhancing its security and to meet the compliances. Okay, Now, let's move further. So now, before we dive any deeper, let's take a brief look at the evolution of your SIEM. So initially, the focus was primarily on compliance and data aggregation. Okay. So before SIEM, the main focus of your SIEM or the ACM technologies, it was just to, meet the industry standards. Okay. That means the compliance and to aggregate the data. That's it. However, as the digital landscape evolved with increasing sophisticated threats and with so many different types of threats, your SIEM also evolved. Okay. So it transformed into a robust system that is capable of not just data collection, but also advanced analysis, real time monitoring, and proactive threat detection. Like I said, it does a lot for an organization and to secure an organization. Okay. So nowadays, whatever the SIM solutions we are using, okay, they are capable of performing advanced analysis, real-time monitoring, and proactive threat detection. Okay. Now, if we talk about your SIM, okay, your SIM came from two different technologies. Okay. So at its heart, SIM is a fusion of two critical aspects. There are two critical technologies or aspects. One is your security information management, SIM, and the second one is security event management, that is ACM. So SIM is a combination of SIM and SEM. Okay. Now imagine SIM, you can, if you want to understand it, so you can imagine SIM as the grand library of cybersecurity. Okay, this is a big library. Let's understand like this with an example. That SIM, let's consider it's a grand library of a cybersecurity where vast amounts of data are collected, stored, and analyzed. Okay, so there is a huge amount of data that is getting collected and stored and analyzed. Okay, in the SIM. Okay. Now, this data, it includes logs, user activity reports, and much more. Okay. So whatever the data is getting stored, that includes the logs and user activity reports. Okay. So majorly your SIEM is handling the logs. Now, your ACM, on the other hand, you can consider it's like an active guard. Okay. So SIM, okay, SIM is the library and ACM is the guard. So it's where the action happens. Okay, whatever the actions will happen, like real-time monitoring, alerting, event correlation, all these type of stuff will happen in the ACM stage. Okay, so think of it as a vigilant sentinel, always on lookout for a slightest anomaly. Means this is the detective. Okay, this is the detective who will always try to look everything in a suspicious manner and then will try to find out even the slightest possibility of a threat or anomaly. Okay. Now, if we understand the SIM deeper, okay, because your SIEM is made of two different aspects. One is SIM and SEM. So first, let's understand SIM. So here the focus is on long-term storage. Okay, in case of SIM, the focus will be on long-term storage, analysis, and reporting of log data. So if you want to understand it with an example, so let's understand that there's an organization's network that generate millions of logs daily from various sources like, firewalls, IDS, antiviruses, etc. Okay, in an organization, we can have number of devices that are generating millions of logs. Now, your SIM solution is going to collect and store all these logs and turn them into a gold mine for compliance reporting and historical analysis. That means it is going to store and process all those logs. But it's not just about storing the data. It's about making sense of it. Okay, because different devices they will be generating logs in different formats. So your SIM is responsible for making the data available in the same format. Okay. So your SIM tools provide advanced analysis capabilities which help the organizations to understand patterns, trends, and anomalies over time. Okay. And if we talk about your SEM, so the SEM, in case of SEM, the focus here is on real-time data. Okay. So it's about immediate action and quick response and staying ahead of threats. Okay. So it will, like I said, it will always look all the data in a suspicious way. Okay. And it will just look out for the slightest possibility of the threat. So it will take immediate actions, quick response, and it will always stay ahead of the threats. So ACM tools, they will monitor and analyze the activity as it happens. Okay, as soon as it happens, they will monitor and analyze it. They will identify potential security incidents through real-time event correlation and alerting mechanism. Now, if these terms like what is event correlation, what are alerting mechanisms, if they feel technical, don't worry about them. Okay, we'll be understanding all these concepts in the upcoming videos in the entire series. Okay, so now if we talk about your SEM, so what they will do, they will identify the potential security incidents through real-time event correlation and alerting mechanisms. Now they work by setting predefined rules and criteria. Okay, so how they are going to make sure that okay, this particular event is suspicious and this is not. Okay, so there are certain rules and criteria that are predefined. For example, if an unusually high number of failed login attempts are detected, it could signify a brute force attack. Okay, so it can be predefined that okay, how many failed login attempts a user can have. Okay, and it could signify a brute force attack, triggering an alert for immediate investigation. So if there are, if there is a user who never failed a login and suddenly what happened, there is like he failed login 10 times. So SIM will consider it as a possible threat, okay, or a possible brute force attack, and it will trigger an alert for immediate investigation. Okay. Now, if we talk about objectives, okay, so understanding these scenarios, they bring us to the core objectives of your SIM, because whatever the scenarios we have understood so far, according to that, now we can easily understand the objectives of your SIM. Firstly, threat identification. Okay. First key objective of your SIM is what? Threat identification. Okay, so your SIM is just, it is going to identify threats and possible breaches. Now, it's not just detecting the threats only, but it's about to doing so proactively, means to take immediate actions. And by analyzing the patterns and behaviors, your SIM systems can identify potential threats before they materialize. Okay, so they will immediately process everything and start monitoring. And if they find anything suspicious, they will generate an alert. Secondly, the compliance and log management. So your SIM helps organizations to meet various regulatory requirements by efficiently managing and reporting on log data. And this capability is crucial in industries like finance, healthcare, and retail, where the regulatory compliance is non-negotiable. Okay, so where the organizations have to comply to the different industry standards. And finally, your incident investigation and response. Okay, so when a security incident occurs, SIM is going to help in the quick analysis of what happened, how it happened, and what can be done to prevent future occurrences. It's like having a cyber forensic team at your fingertips that will tell you that, okay, what happened, how it happened, and what you can do to prevent it in future. So in the ever evolving lane of cyber threats, your SIM stands as a sentinel, guarding the gateways of your digital information. It's a blend of technology, strategy, and proactive vigilance. And as we wrap up this video to SIEM, remember that this is just the beginning. Our next video will dive deeper into each of these components, exploring how they can be fine-tuned and integrated into various business environments. So I hope I was able to provide you, a good and well-detailed introduction to your SIM. So thank you for joining us today. We hope this video has shed some light on critical role of SIM in cybersecurity. Stay tuned for more content and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful explorations into the world of technology. Until the next time, keep your digital life secure and informed.